Hello, Master Numerologist Andre Alvin Moore, and today I'd like to break down the name Eugene. This is an in-depth analysis of the first name Eugene. The name Eugene contains 6 letters. Number 6 gives birth, for it represents Mother Earth. Mother Earth provides valuable resources that are crucial for our existence. A vital component of the number 6 is that it must learn to yield and to receive. Mother Earth naturally receives seeds in her womb and in time bring forth life. A woman receives a seed from a male and in time bring forth life. So that is an example of how Mother Earth and humanity is connected, because we both have the capabilities of bringing forth life if the right environment is provided for. Now, in life, it is essential that we learn to yield and to be able to receive. Some individuals have a hard time receiving. It's difficult for them to receive compliments. It's difficult for them to receive love. Some individuals have a very hard time in being able to yield. Some individuals are very stern and firm and unmovable. But in life, we must learn those valuable lessons of yielding and receiving. For an example, in nature, some trees are hard and sturdy, but if a strong wind blows through, they may break, while other trees bend and yield when strong winds blow through, and they more often than not prevail. Now, the number 6 rules the heart, emotions, and love. When one is involved with another, it is essential to learn to flow and to yield. A relationship that's built on stubbornness, and hardness will eventually break. Now, the first letter E is ruled by the number 5, and it sits in opposition to the number 6 for a reason. Sometimes in love, one becomes so enamored that it may suffocate the person who is on the receiving end of that affection. Sometimes the number 6 powers of love are so strong that it becomes intolerable. This is the time that the number 6 must learn to back off and take 5. The number 5 is about freedom. The number 6 is about connection. Every relationship needs air to breathe, to get out of the routine, to give their significant other some air. Some cling too tight while others don't cling enough. For an example, your significant girlfriend, your significant other comes to you and say, "I'm going out with my girls tonight." A clinging 6 energy, not being secure within themselves, may object or hit you up with a million questions such as, "When will you get back? Who are you going with? Where are you going? Why don't you want to stay here with me?" But in essence, what she's saying is, "I need a break from you." If your significant other don't find a release valve, pent up energy may cause her to step out on you or leave the relationship. One must learn balance. Now, the letter U ruled by the number 3. The numbers 3 and 5 are compatible and they like to hang out together. They make a very joyful team. But number 3 places emphasis on communication. Each relationship, every relationship needs to be able to speak, to be heard, and understood. One must think of creative ways to keep a relationship fresh. Most couples go their separate ways because of boredom. The 3-5 combo does require innovative ways to keep the loving fun. So the 3 is about creativity, and the number 5 is about having fun and adventure. So if you're in a 3-5 combo connection, come up with creative, artistic ways to keep the relationship from becoming too heavy with the boredom of routine. Let's go on. Now, the letter G is ruled by the number 7, and it carries a higher vibration than the numbers 5 and 3. It reaches into the higher spiritual spheres of life. Respecting one's faith is critical. How many wars have been fought over the unwillingness to recognize this? One's religion is personal, but more often than not, we try to convert others to worship as we do. We must learn to appreciate another person's faith. If not, friction may occur. So, when you meet someone, one of the questions in the conversation must be, what is your religion? What is your faith? If the person's faith sits in contradiction to your faith, then there's a high probability that this relationship is not going to work. There is a saying to try to be of the same yoke. If you're a Christian, try to gravitate to another Christian. You're asking for difficulties if you're a Christian and you're dating, say, a Muslim, or you're dating a Buddhist. It's just going to bring about a conflict. Sometimes an individual can grow and be respectful of another person's religion, but more often than not, it don't work out that way. Let's continue. Now, letters E, N, E, which vibrates at the end pattern of the name Eugene, are ruled by the number 5. These 3 5s now has put their foot on the gas pedal because the number 5 rules speed, and we're off to the races. We have all experienced what happens when high velocity happens. Loss of control can occur. One must take their foot off the pedal and slow that car down. These 3 5s blend into the number 6, the number of responsibility, because 3 times 5 is 15 and 1 plus 5 equals 6. So, to counter the speed of the 5s, you must blend into the number 6, the number of responsibility, because the number 5 had a tendency not to embrace responsibility. And with 3 of them, there's a high probability that the number 5 will become very reckless in the choices that he or she may make. Okay? Now, the number 5 and 6 are not compatible, but that 6 which is hidden, you don't see it, but it's there, or it's the solution to those triple 5s, because the 3 and the 5s, 3 times 5 makes 15, 1 times 5, and 1 plus 5 equals 6. It's hidden, you don't see it, but it's there. It's an undercurrent to try to teach the 5 energy, or to try to show the 5 energy the proper way to be able to sustain a relationship. And the proper way to sustain a relationship, you must cultivate a sense of responsibility, right? So This hidden 6 vibration is there to teach the number 5 the need to become more responsive to those who it loves. The unknown 6 will have a difficult time teaching this lesson due to the strong influence coming from the overabundance of 5s in the name Eugene. Eugene has 4 5s in it, but that is what will be needed. For example, say a number 5 energy loves to drag race, loves speed, but if that number 5 have people in the car with it, like perhaps his girlfriend, and perhaps the girlfriend may have her child, then it would be irresponsible for the 5 to hit the gas pedal and just take off. You have to slow that car down. You have to be responsive and understand that other people's lives are at stake and that you must curtail your recklessness. But it's hidden. But nevertheless, that is the value of that hidden 6. Let's move on. The number pattern for Eugene is 53755. There are 4 5s, which means there's discipline is there to try to put the brakes and slow this fast car down, because 4 5s means that you need the discipline because the number 4 there. 5 is speed, but the 4 is saying put your foot on the brake to slow the car down before something that might happen that can cause harm. Okay, so the discipline would be needed to apply the brakes to slow down this fast car, because without restraint, this car may wreck. The 4 5s will blend and vibrate to the number 2, which is the number of caring. If you love someone, if you care for them, then you will not behave reckless, putting your life at risk and your family. The core essence of the name Eugene is the number 3, derived from combining numbers 53755, because when you add those 6 numbers together, you vibrate to the number 30, reduced down to the number 3. The name Eugene is an amusing, loving name filled with creative ideas. It must not overindulge in physical pleasures by cultivating discipline. Maintaining a meaningful relationship with another may prove challenging and will require a willingness to change to bring about more stability in a relationship, and some sacrifice may be needed. It may be difficult because of the strong influence of the number 5. So that is an in-depth analysis of the name Eugene. The name does not solely tell the complete picture of an individual, but it's a good start. Now, if I was doing a professional reading and a person came to me with the name of Eugene, I would take a look at that birth cycles. And if I see a number 5 in that birth cycle, for an example, say the person is born in the month of May, which is 5, or born on the 23rd or the 14th, then I know exactly the type of advice that I must offer that individual. So, until the next video, peace.